Okay, you count it off. You're the drummer.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Hi, we're the Melvins.
And this is Records in My Life.
Guys, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
What's new and exciting, please?
We're in Vancouver. What could be more exciting than that?
That's right.
Well, what's in the Melvins camp? What's new? What's
We've
what's
got
the band? What's
new
the
album.
A new album. We're on tour. We've got 2 bass players.
Who's playing with you these days?
It's Jeff Pinkus, who
the Butthole
is formerly of the Butthole Surfers.
And
Honky. And Melvins. And Steve McDonald, who plays in Red Cross and Off.
And the Melvins.
And the Melvins.
And the Melvins.
Both of them have done albums with us in the past, and both of them have toured with us separately. So it's great to have them.
Jeff's been in the band on and off for a lot of years, hasn't he?
For a while. He did a whole album with him and Paul from the Butthole Surfers called Hold It In.
Paul Leary.
Yeah.
Paul Leary.
And what's
Paul's
the name
a
of
great
your
guy.
what's the name of your new record, and what is it on a label, or where can we find it?
The new one is called Pinkus Abortion Technician, which is a takeoff on the Butthole Surfers record, Locust Abortion Technician. It's on Ipecac, and it's available worldwide, everywhere, online, in stores.
Just look, and we'll have it tonight at the
And
show.
we'll have it here tonight for sale.
And this will be aired later, right?
In the next week or so.
So the show is amazing.
It was amazing.
The Melvin
show was
Everybody
like off the
loved
wall.
it.
Yeah.
so good.
The
And
show's
if you didn't go,
fantastic.
you missed out. It was
Are you
probably the best
playing-
show we'll ever play.
Yeah.
Are you heading east or west after this, so I can tip off the audience?
Head east.
No, but I mean, we need a couple days. So Edmonton's probably 2 days from now, right? Or tomorrow?
We have 2 days off, then we play Edmonton.
You play.
Then we
Edmonton,
play Calgary.
Okay.
And then
we have a
the
day
Peg.
off.
We go to the Peg.
But
He says like a Canadian. I love it.
But we're driving from Calgary to Winnipeg. We're staying in Regina on the way.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're getting a real taste.
Is,
No show in Regina. Just
We
stay
couldn't
home?
get a show.
Yeah.
We
What do you
tried
mean you
to.
couldn't get a show?
Nothing was
Is,
available.
is the
There's
C-
like 500 places to play in Regina.
But you know,
how is nothing available? You're the Melvins.
But-
you guys are. No, but
There's
you
only-
guys are
there's only so many
legendary-
places
you
we
guys
can
are a
go.
legendary band. How is not?
well,
sometimes
maybe
it
if the
doesn't work.
CFL is happening right now, we'll go catch the Rough Riders.
But we're going to stay in Regina.
You know what? I love your knowledge of
And then
Canada. It's
the
so,
Peg.
You referenced the
Peg.
CFL. That's so.
and
That's
the
awesome.
and the Peg.
And the Peg. Yeah, you called Winnipeg the Peg.
We got to play the Peg.
Yes.
We
What?
played the Peg the first time in 1985
Yeah, so we've been coming up here for a long time.
at a place called Wellingtons, which the locals called Smellingtons.
I was going to say Hellington.
Tough
Smellington.
town.
Yeah.
This show is about. We like to educate people about albums and music and.
We love albums.
different-
We love music.
Yes.
We do.
So let's go. When you guys first formed, like I said, there was no Craigslist back
No,
then.
nothing.
What? Nothing. But what? Or rotary phones. But how did you? What albums brought you guys together? Give me a couple of records.
Well, we liked a lot of stuff. It might be better. When we joined the band, he was introduced to a mass amount of stuff that he'd never
I
heard.
was, but then we still had some mutual things that we really liked together, like some heavy metal stuff, like Judas Priest Unleashed in the East.
Yeah.
And that's still a record that
We never stopped
love.
liking all that stuff, as well as a lot of other stuff. But like we introduced you to like 50 bands.
Oh yeah, it took a while
Overnight.
to catch up. It's like, what's this? What's this? What's this?
Listen to this.
What's another?
This
well,
is called the MC5.
This is the Stooges Funhouse. Here's the Black Flag stuff.
See what you think of this.
Flipper, Meat Puppets,
On
Butthole
and
Surfers, on and on.
Endless.
But then they didn't just listen. They listened to all kinds of stuff. You know,
Yeah.
they liked punk rock stuff and what was current, and as well as stuff that we grew up with. You know, like
Hendrix.
still listening. They still like Kiss and
Kiss,
Aerosmith
Hendrix.
and
Yeah.
Hendrix.
Let's go back to the Pacific Northwest days. I know we were
Lord
talking
have
earlier.
mercy.
I know we were talking. I mean, but the Pacific Northwest has a rich musical history, and you guys are part of it. Not to, you know,
We prefer to call it the specific Northwest.
give us a record that from back in the day which had a big influence.
Well, we always like stuff like Hendrix. He's from the Northwest.
Born in
One of
Seattle.
my favorite records is from early 80s would be the Human band from Seattle put out a 12-inch that I think is still like one of the best records from Seattle. That 12-inch I think is really, really good.
And it's
That
called
would
The
be it.
Human. Sorry,
The Human.
The Human.
Human.
U-Men.
Oh, The Human. Yes, I'm sorry, not The Human. Sorry, my hearing is
What?
is a bit.
But I think that's one of the best records that came out that nobody really cares about. I still listen to that record a lot, actually. So never stopped.
True, yeah, he did. He does.
Yeah.
Is there an album today that you've discovered recently that's kind of flying under the radar, which we should be listening to? Doesn't newer, older, something that not a lot of people know.
Well, I like this band from Tacoma, Seattle called Helms, Alee. I think they're really good.
Right.
They're still playing.
Mm-hmm. They've
We
done
toured
some
with them
shows with us.
a year and a half ago. I really thought they were really good. They were really, really good. One of the better bands we played with, I think.
Yeah.
We played with us.
Yeah. This band that's playing with us tonight, Mod Pods from LA, are pretty good. I've
Yeah, it's a good fit.
saw them in LA and know some of them and thought that they'd be really good to have on tour. They're probably different than we are. A lot of times if we don't pick the bands, we'll get stuck with heavy bands, or stoner rock bands, and it's okay, but it's just kind of too much. So to have somebody different is nice.
Right. It's nice to mix up the sound a little bit.
Yeah.
We were leaving the venue last night, right? And we were playing with Mod Pods. We're leaving the venue, and the singer walks up to us. I have music on as I'm about to drive away. She's like, "What are you listening to?" I'm like, Judy Garland live at Carnegie Hall. She's like, "I love that record."
It's fantastic.
That's great.
Let's do one more, guys. Thanks for having a good sense of humor and being good sports. Of
course.
What's a record you would like to have been a witness to in the studio, like being recorded?
Revolver by the Beatles.
God, that'd be a good one.
And why?
I think that's their best record, and I love how the production on that record a great deal, and I would just love to have seen them do it. How they came up with the ideas for, like, especially on a song like Taxman, to put the guitars out in your face and loud. How do they make that mixing decision? How do they make that recording decision? It's so odd compared to what was happening at the time. Especially that. When you listen to solos, I think it's McCartney playing them too.
Didn't Ringo write that song?
I think
No, Harrison.
Oh, Harrison wrote that song.
Yeah.
And they started the record with that. And it's such an odd song.
Yeah, it is.
The guitars they're right here when you're listening to it. There's no room sound at all on that. It's amazing. And their use of compression, I think, on the drums is really something to behold. I think it's really amazing, and it's subtle, but once you hear it, it's like it's so over the top you can't even believe it how much there is on there. And I just think the songwriting on that record that was really, to me, when they hit it out of the park. Then they took that into the later into the White Album, which I think they went a little too far with. But I love that record. But the Revolver, to me, is when the Beatles became the Beatles.
It's a great reference because the Beatles have never ever been referenced on this show. Sorry,
Never
sorry,
ever. Nobody likes the Beatles.
I know nobody likes the Beatles. Just catch it.
I would have liked to have sat in on the making of Axis Bold as Love by Jimi Hendrix. I think that would have been pretty cool.
That was a pretty cutting edge
album. Yeah, and they were doing
it.
weird stuff too, right, like around the same time.
I could have just as easily said Sticky Fingers.
Yeah, I could have. I almost said that too, because then you would have got to travel more because they did it in multiple studios.
Yeah.
Or like,
you could have got wasted.
I always really liked the sound.
Got wasted with the Keith. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
You stay up for 9-10 days at a time. And
Sure.
Still alive.
It's incredible.
Still kicking.
It's incredible. Yeah, he knows something.
I always wished I was at the Live at Leeds Who concert.
Oh yeah.
And I always pictured, like, listening to that record, it's got this great, like, you can hear the delay of the guitar on the other side. And I always thought, like, that was recorded at some amazing theater. I always pictured this really beautiful old theater in England someplace. And then we went and played at the University of Leeds, and I went over to the building.
Right there.
They've got the historical plaque on the building, The Who recorded here. There was a band in there that were going to play that day. And it's just like going into like a giant school lunchroom, and I'm like,
Dumpy cafeteria.
This is where that record that I had this image of. This was where it was recorded.
Yep.
Wow.
Tiny stage.
That's fantastic.
And just like a shitty lunchroom.
Yeah.
It's something like
no
everybody's
acoustics.
listened to.
No acoustics at all in there.
That's incredible. Because it's one of the most famous live, good albums.
It's the best
there was like
one.
7 songs on they had like Summertime Blues on it, and it was like, but everybody
Shaking
seemed
all
to
over.
have owned that. Yeah, everybody seemed to have owned that. It was like a rock fan, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like you go visit. It must have been kind of surreal that they recorded this here. It must have been like
Yeah.
kind of like.
I know, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow.
And then they've since released that whole record, the whole show. You can buy the whole show on a
Now you can buy the whole show?
Yeah.
Not surprised. Well, yeah.
Not just the
Let
single.
them make some more money. I mean, you know.
Well, I mean, it's really interesting. I mean, they could have put any of those songs on it.
Yeah.
You know how they picked those ones, I don't know, or why.
Yeah, or why they didn't do like a double record, I don't know.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for being
Thank
on
you,
the show.
guys.
We'd like to ask, can you give us some words of wisdom?
The people that I know that aren't musicians that have done the best monetarily, not one of them went to college, and none of them inherited money.
Yeah.
So the college didn't help them.
Oh, you want advice from me? Yeah. I don't know. Have confidence in yourself.
That's
You'll win
valid.
that way.
That's totally valid. That's the most important thing. Well, thanks again, guys.